Welcome to Ridge Life. I'm Tim, and today on the Ridge, you see what happened was the block work is done, but we're waiting on concrete to fill the blocks and pour the back patio. I thought this would be a perfect day, take advantage of this off day where they're not up here to work on the solar carport footers. Now, I've tried to work on them several times. I've got them dug, I got them aligned. Remember, me and Morgan came up here, did all the measurements and the azimuths and all that stuff. And that was before we started working on the actual foundation, getting the professionals out here. Well, the water's dried up now, and I came up to look to see how me and Morgan did with our A's, B's, A squares, B squares, C squares, and all that stuff. Well, this is what I found. Well, let's go see. So originally, my son Morgan and I got up here before anything was up here. I mean, the shed wasn't here. Of course, the block work wasn't there. None of this was here. We just came up here with a compass and a tape measure, and we wanted to figure out, based on the sun for our solar, where everything should be. So we marked out on the ground with stakes and string and spray paint where the foundation for the house should go. We started there. And then from off of the foundation for the house, we measured as far away as we thought, we measured how far it should be with the gravel road in the center there. And we laid out stakes, strings, and paint for the solar carport. And then off of that, we put stakes, string, and paint for where the shed would be. Well, okay, the shed was delivered first, and the shed guy did an amazing job dropping it right where we said. I mean, pretty close, pretty close. So then whenever the professionals came out here, I asked them to build the house foundation lined up with the shed, because the shed is the first structure that's here, and they could draw a string of line from it real easy. So they strung the line all the way off the shed and measured how far where the square should be for the 40 by 40 house. Now, we ended up being, if we come over here, we ended up being a couple inches off from what Morgan and I did for the house as compared to what the shed was. Now, you can see the shed is way over there. House is way over here. So they said we did a pretty good job. So they said we did a pretty good job. So now that we've got the block work done, what I did was, now this is where it's going to get interesting, guys. This is some crazy stuff here. So I took a string. See this string right here? And they've got this frame up here, and this is how they squared up the house off that frame. So there's a nail over there and a nail over here, and that nail, if you look down, is perfectly straight with the block work. So I took this string, tied it to those nails, and I ran down to our solar carport. So let's see what we got, because we wanted the front post of the solar carport to be in line with the front of the house. Not the overhang of the solar panels, but the actual post. So came over here, and I tied that string to this post right here. You can see how great we look on this hole. I mean, we are square. I don't know if you can see that exactly. We are square right over it. But the problem was, we were about 3.5 inches this way on that hole over there. Because remember, we were about 3 inches off, 2 or 3 inches off from the house to that shed. Well, that equated to the same 3.5 inches off here. So now if you look here, I've already moved the strings. You can see that this square is offset by that much, because I've already done all the math and the Pythagorean theorem and got all these lined back up. So I've got to dig just a little bit off this corner. Again, I dug this a little bit big. It only needs to be 16 by 16 by 20. So I just got to get a little off of this. So what I did, I got that string all the way over here, and I measured from the house to here. So then what I did, I'm telling you guys, this is some high level stuff here. Some of y'all be laughing at me, Tim. There's such an easier way to do this, Tim. So what I did, is I ran a string off the corner of this house, and those nails, same nails, came back this way, and I ran it straight out down to there. Came to here, and that's how, this is where the end of the post is for this side of the carport. This is how much, because the overhang's gonna be here, the shed, we wanted this space. So if you look here, I measured from there to the house, from there to the house, and from here to the house. So what that does, we were only this much off of how far we're from the house. That is pretty amazing. So bringing this stake here over that far, basically had to adjust everything about 2 or 3 inches to get it out of a parallelogram and into a perfect rectangle. So look here, this is one of the worst ones. See how this one is pretty way off. I've got to dig this corner out here, and this one will, because that's definitely not 8 inches right there, right? 8 and 8. So I've got to dig this out just a little bit, not a big deal. Come down over here, about the same. That's only about 6 inches. Got to dig a little bit off of this corner over here. This is way big, but it'd be all right. I'll just waste a little concrete. These things ain't going nowhere as the amount of concrete I got to put in it. But if we look here, lined up, got to dig it. Actually, that might be 8 inches. That may be just about 7 inches. May just have to dig a little bit off this side. And again, this one is perfect because this is the cornerstone, if you will. So, knowing all this, I'm not too upset. When I fly the drone over now, when I put my foundations in these spots, everything should look perfectly square from the shed to the house, the Barndominium, to the solar carport. Everything should be square. Should be. Actually, I'm pretty happy with it. So, Morgan, thank you very much for your help. And Wiley, thank you for giving me some advice too on these footers. Now, we're going to start cutting the rebar and the form boards to start forming these up. I'll dig them out as we go to make them perfect, because if I dig them all out now, the rain could come again and they all get filled with full rain. So I'm not going to make that mistake again. So I'm going to start on that back corner over there, which is perfect, and start working around. So let's go. Let's get the saw out and the angle grinder with the cutting wheel on it and start cutting our materials for our forms. First thing I'm going to do is cut 12 16-inch pieces of this 2x6. It's going to be our form boards. The reason I'm going to do 12 16-inch pieces is because they'll be the short sides, guaranteed 16 by 16. And then I'll have long boards on the outsides of those 16s to be 16 by 16, and the long extra hanging over is what I'll have staked to the ground. And I'm going to be doing that because I'm going to be using counter stakes to level each form. So that's why I'm not just doing a 16 by 16 square. I'll do a 16 by 16 square with long arms sticking out. Makes it a lot easier to level up with your post and everything, get everything just right. So eye protection, got to get my hearing protection in. I know you guys really care about my old ears and my old eyes. I care about them too. I do. Got my square, got my pencil, got my tape measure. So 16 marked right there. Get that lined up. Make sure it's exactly 16. It is. Make our first cut. I got a brand new blade on here, and actually I forgot to adjust the height of it for a 2x4, but a brand new blade on here. Now it's not a Diablo, but it is blue, and it matches my my saw here. I forgot what brand it was. It's got the little spider on it. Anybody knows what that spider is? But all right, let's see if I can cut this again and get it the right depth this time. A booyah. All right, let's cut 11 more of these bad boys. 16 right there. Mark that up. 16. Woo! Like a glove, like a glove. Move this on down. 16. Perfect. Go on that side of the line. All right, let's keep going. All right, 3 down, 13 more to go. Now you're gonna see I've got some long pieces left over. Again, those long pieces are what I'm gonna use for the other side. So I'll just keep going. Keep going until, so this one's a little bit long. Let me set this right there. Set this off to the side. Get the next board over. Just keep cutting these 16s. Making it easy on myself. You got to trust yourself. Nah, 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 trust yourself. Who sings that song? Is that Bruce Willis? You got to trust yourself. Y'all remember Bruce Willis used to be a professional singer? Nah, 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 yeah, trust yourself. Respect yourself. Or is that what it was? Respect yourself. I think it was. You got to respect yourself. Tim, you're an idiot. Tim, you are a 100% certified idiot. I never denied that. That's for sure. There we are. Let's get another board out of this one. 16. Here we are. All right. 7 down, 9 to go. 7 down, 9 to go. Let's see here. 16 inches. 16. Yeah, la, 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 la. Let's respect yourself. I know how to do this. There we are. I have to switch batteries in a second. This one wasn't quite 100%. Wasn't quite up to par, if you know what I mean. It is nice having my solar power and my Blue Eddy up here. Thank you, David. Come on, Homesteading, for gifting me that big AC 240 Blue Eddy. Really helps me up here off grid. Guys, I'm 100% off grid up here on the ridge. 16. It helps a lot. A lot. A lot. Keep going, Tim. Keep her going. You got this. That's giving it. She's all she's got, Captain. Just keep going, Tim. Keep going. You got this. We'll get some work done. Tim, you got to get some work done. Tim, you never get any work done. All you do is pay people to get work done. You never do any work yourself. Jen does all the work. I ain't arguing with any of that. Not a bit of it. But I'm gonna continue to work. All right, I got my horses cut. I got 10 pieces. I only need 2 more. Did I say 16? I need 12 16-inch pieces. So 2 more 16, and I'll have my 12. Go ahead and get that lined up. And then I got these longer pieces. I can cut those in half. One. All right, 16. It's going to be our 12th one. Lined up. All right, so now I've got these long pieces here, and I need 12 long pieces. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. If I cut those in half, I only have 8. So that means I gotta do some math. All right, I think I've done the mathification. I've got 4 boards left that are 88 inches long. If I cut each one 2 times at 29 1/4, 3 times 4 will be 12 29 1/4 inch boards. And if I got a 29 1/4 inch board, if I leave 6 1/2 inches off each side, that gives me 16 inches in between. 16 by 16 by 16 with about 6 inches or so hanging off 2 boards. I think that math works. All right, 29 1/4. 29 1/4. I'm gonna lose just a hair, but actually it was 29.33 was the math, so I think that's gonna work out just fine. Just fine as wine. There's one. Oh, dropped my pencil. All right, let's do 29 1/4. And if I measure from this end, guess what? 30 inches. So, not a problem. It's exactly what I wanted to see. So, let's do this. Get that right there. Boom. All right, let's cut that bad boy. There's 3. Let's get some more here. Okay. 29 1/4. 29. A little bit more than 1/4. I can go a little bit more. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Because these, they're just hanging off a little bit extra so I can have something to stake to. I cut this one in halvesies. Don't you love a halvesy? 29 1/4. Whoa, what happened here? Oh, this is my extra one. Uh-oh. Did I make a mistake? I think I did. So you see, what happened was all those remaining boards weren't 88 inches long. I only had to cut the first 10. Well, I should have been cutting another one off that board, so they really should have been 72 inches long and not 88. I grabbed that last one and said, that don't look right, so they're really not 88 inches, they're 72. But I got this worked out. These last ones won't be as long. This one here is gonna have a little bit shorter board, still be more than enough hanging off the end. I'll just put that on the holes that are the better size. So I got it all figured out now, so let me get this. Oh my goodness, guys. That's what happens when you measure once, you end up having to cut twice. Well, it was close to having to do that. I almost had to buy some more wood. Ain't nobody got time for that though. All right, so let's get this lined up. So I'm cutting this one into 3s. You can see that's not very long, but it's gonna work just fine. Just fine, I promise you. Promise you, just fine. Mark my words, just fine. All right, so let me cut this one. Might have to let this battery cool off. Yep, I think that's gonna have to. Let me go get another battery and I'll be right back. All right, we got a fresh battery. Let's finish these cuts. Like butter, like butter. Gotta mark this one. Here we are. Get this one cut. All right, last one right here. That one. All right, due to my wonky ridge math, I do have 12 longer boards than my 16s, but 3 of them, they're gonna be 16 by 16 inch square. So Couple of these holes, I may have to screw on some extension handles on them just so they support above the hole, but the rest of them are going to be just fine. Again, measure twice, cut once. I'm not a professional. I don't even play one on YouTube. All right, this next test, hopefully I don't make the mistake. Because what I got here, I've got 8 10-foot sticks of 1/2-inch rebar. And if I cut 14-inch pieces, that's going to be the cage for each of the footer holes. If I cut 6 off each one, 6 times 8's 48. And I need 8 for each hole, 6 holes, 6 times 8's 48. And that will leave me about 32 inches on each one of these 8 for my verticals, okay? So it'll be 8 verticals, but I've also got 6 verticals out there. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, right? So 4 times 6, 6 times 4, actually no, 6 times 4 is 24. So I'm gonna need a little bit more rebar. I already know that right now, but at least I know I'm making the right cut. So 14-inch cuts. Let's go ahead and get that there, 14-inch. See, you just thought, Tim, you had all the right materials. Well, thinking one hand and something in the other. So 14 is right there. All right, here we go. Boom! All right, let's do another 14. 14. I know y'all like the way I'm holding this grinder, but it actually works pretty good. The grinder, the cover of the grinder is holding it in place pretty good. So that's 2. And that's 4. Make sure I get that right again. Don't want to mess up. Measure twice. Right there. 5 and 6. 14 is right there, so I'm going to have to move this to the center. The center. 14 is right there. All right, 6/14 out of that one. Leaves me a nice vertical. Let's get to cutting. All right, you already watched me cut the wood and 6 of those rebar. Let's put you on a time lapse and I'll cut the rest of these, give you a little music to jam to. Let's do this. Well, that was a pretty big ordeal cutting all that rebar. I went through a ton of these cutting wheels. Actually, I had smaller cutting wheels than this is a 5-inch angle grinder. I think I had like 3.5-inch cutting wheels, so they didn't last very long. Once I got the 5-inch on there, but you can see the 5-inch didn't last very long either, but I got the last of it cut. So we went through 3 complete cutting wheels, but we got it done. Now I want to show you something. So there's all my 14-inch pieces I cut right there. Right here's all my leftover long vertical pieces. But then I remembered there was a ton of leftover rebar from the foundation build. Yeah, they had extra pieces they're just going to scrap. And matter of fact, they're probably just going to leave them on the ground. I'll have to pick them up. So what I did was I went and picked them up, and I got all these L or J anchors, and they are perfectly long enough for verticals. And then I got a bunch of extra of the same size. Not all of them are 14. Some of them are shorter, some of them are longer. But just in case I need them, I've got them. And here's actually a bunch of big pieces right here. Those are like 18 inches probably. At least, well, definitely more than 14. So I could always cut those down too. So we have got rebar. I don't have to go to Lowe's anymore. Cha-ching! Save me a little bit of that moolah. So, all right, we got all of our long boards cut. I know, I cut them wrong. We got all of our short bows cut. I got those cut right. Got all of our rebar cut. And cut me a little bit too a few times. I got a cut there and a cut there. Oh, Timmy got the boo-boo. It's all right. Let me take you inside the power shed tool section, show you what we're going on. Y'all remember I painted the floor, right? Well, check it out. The painted floor is doing wonderful. It is rough textured surface right there. Very good. I even got some dirt because I've been working in here. That's right, Timmy's been working. But it has cured for a week now, so we are ready to move all of these tools back to this side. Then I can get in here and put the white primer on, and then this armor coat. This stuff is some bad mamba jamba right here. Over armor, I keep calling it armor coat. Over armor, that's good stuff. And you can see what it does to the tray there. It's just like sandpaper. Again, I told you, David gave me the AC240 Blue Eddy. That's this big bad unit right here. I got it charging my Cobalt batteries for all my hand tools. And check this out, guys. We are at 99% charge because I got 104 watts coming in. And matter of fact, are the batteries completely charged? Batteries are completely charged because I got the solar panel right there, keeping everything up to date. That's kind of weird. Why don't I that? That one should be still charging. Yeah. Oh, there's a problem with it. Check it out. Let me pull that back in and put it on this one. See if that goes green. No, it goes red. It may be overheated. That one probably overheated, so I'm going to let that 4 amp hour one sit just a little bit before I charge that. Well, the sun is setting on the ridge. There's not much daylight. I think I'm going to sit here on this block and maybe play in the extra mortar sand. We've got a ton of extra mortar sand. Well, guys, sand is a great leveling tool. So, yeah, they're not going to use it. So I'm going to tell them, hey, don't skid steer that around. Leave that right there. And then after I box blade the yard everywhere, with all the excess dirt that they don't use, I'm going to distribute the dirt everywhere. I'm going to use that sand to smooth out some of the divots and holes. It works perfectly to level and smooth out your yard. Now, you know, dirt, you want to pack it hard, get it, you know, get all the giant holes filled in, but that sand's going to be perfect for it. Now, the big bags of mortar, they'll take back with them. I definitely don't need that laying around here. I don't plan on doing any block work unless I'm going over to the 41.36 and doing some block work with them, which I don't think they want to do block work anymore either. But the foundation looks amazing. And probably the next time you see it, you may have already seen it with the patio poured. Ooh, guys, it's just moving along so quickly here on the ridge. So I will keep coming back and working with you. I'll show other people's work. I'll work with you. And I got to get that floor done. I've got to get these footers poured. And I am going back to work at the steel mill too. So Videos may slow down just a little bit, especially the ramblings. You know, I've been doing about 6 ramblings a week. Probably gonna be slowing down those lows because I'll be driving to and from work all the time and really won't have as much to update you on. But I'll still keep you informed. I promise I'll still keep you informed. And I've got lots of work to do in the afternoons and weekends. So I've got to get the plan, just to let you know. Once the foundation is done and the patio is poured, I'm going to call the local inspector, see if they want to come out and see it. Normally they don't want to see it until the subfloor is ready to come on, that inspection there. But I'll call them, see if they want to come out and see it, because I'm not going to touch it till the late winter, okay? Early spring, late winter. I've got the septic guy coming out as soon as we get back from the fellas' family fishing fiesta. There at Spring River. We're going to catch a bunch of rainbow trout. As soon as I get back from that, the septic guy is coming out and putting the septic tank in or running all the septic lines. I'll be sure to show you that. And then, of course, the solar footer and solar carport being built. That's what I want to do this fall. And then when it gets all nasty and cold outside, I plan on being inside the solar shed. I already have that wall framed out and start getting it wired and ready for solar. That's my winter plan. So finish up the summer, well, summer's over with. Finish up the early fall with the foundation and patio. Go into fall and do the septic. Get the carport footers now, and then get the carport put up this fall. May have to have David from Come On Homestead come over and help me out with some of those steel beams. And then work inside the power shed until the eco panels, the SIP panels arrive and we start building on the Barndominium. That is my 6-month goal. Does that sound like a feasible, reasonable 6-month goal to you all? Plus I'll be working in the steel mill too, so I'm gonna make it happen. I got lots of vacation, and I'm gonna be babying this knee there too, because I definitely don't wanna hurt this knee again and slow all this stuff down. Because now it's time for me to get to work. Contractors have done their job. Now it's time for Tim to do his. And I am glad you are here along with me. So guys, if you like today's video, give it a big old thumbs up. Like, share, and subscribe. It's 100% free, never costs you a penny. Hit that notification bell to be notified anytime when a new video comes out on RidgeLife, RidgeLife's Reviews, or RidgeLife's Reviews and How-Tos, RidgeLife Ramblings, or RidgeLife. Make sure you do that on all 3 of those channels. So guys, until next time, hope everyone has a blessed day, and go RidgeLife. All right, I got my horses adjusted. Got my long pieces up here. I got 10 pieces cut. Let's go ahead and get the last 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.